The sun had started its slow descent, casting long shadows over the village as the evening air grew cooler. Golden Heart was sitting outside his hut, taking in the peaceful quiet of the village. He had grown accustomed to the rhythm of this place, though his thoughts often drifted toward Amy. Days had passed since he had last seen her, and though he tried not to let it bother him, her absence was impossible to ignore. He exhaled softly, his gaze shifting from the village square to the distant horizon. The last few days had been filled with odd moments, villagers thanking him for his help, speaking kindly of Amy, telling him she was usually warmer, more open. Yet every time they mentioned her name, it was as though they were speaking of someone else, someone different from the guarded soul he had met. His thoughts were interrupted by the sound of footsteps approaching from behind. He turned slightly, surprised to see Amy standing there, her expression unreadable. She wasn't looking directly at him. Her gaze seemed to hover somewhere between the ground and the distant sky, as though she was uncertain of why she was even there.
"Hi!"
She said, her voice soft, almost cautious. Golden Heart offered her a warm smile, though he could sense the hesitation in her posture.
"Hey, Amy."
She remained standing, shifting awkwardly on her feet. The air between them was thick with unspoken words, with the weight of everything left unsaid from their previous encounters. For a moment it seemed like she might turn and leave, but then she sighed, breaking the silence.
"I just wanted to come by.
She murmured, still not quite meeting his eyes.
I've been avoiding you. I'm sure you've noticed."
Golden Heart nodded gently. He didn't need to say anything. He could feel the conflict within her, and he understood it without needing an explanation.
"I wasn't trying to be rude or anything.
Amy continued, her voice quieter now.
It's just, I've had a lot on my mind lately, and I wasn't sure how to handle everything."
She finally looked at him, her eyes searching for some kind of understanding.
"I guess I'm still not sure."
Golden Heart's smile remained soft, gentle.
You don't have to explain yourself, Amy. I know you're going through something, and I don't expect you to let me in or share anything you're not ready to.
Amy's lips tightened into a thin line, her brow furrowing slightly as she looked away again.
"That's the thing.
She muttered, more to herself than to him.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready. I don't know how to trust anyone anymore."
Golden Heart felt a pang of empathy for her, but he stayed silent, giving her the space to say what she needed.
"I see you helping everyone."
Amy said after a moment, her voice a little stronger now.
"You've been kind to everyone in the village, even though you've only just arrived. It's confusing. Why are you so good?"
Golden Heart chuckled softly, though not mockingly.
I wouldn't call myself good. I just want to help. That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Amy's eyes flickered with something. Curiosity, maybe, or skepticism. She sighed again, wrapping her arms around herself as if warding off a chill.
"It's not that simple. People, they're complicated. They'll let you down, or hurt you, even when they don't mean to."
Golden Heart tilted his head slightly, his tone still kind but more serious.
Maybe. But I don't believe that should stop us from trying. We're all a little broken, Amy, in one way or another. That's why we need each other.
Amy's expression faltered for a moment, as though his words had struck something deep within her. She didn't respond immediately, but her posture relaxed just a little, the tension easing from her shoulders.
"I just don't want to get hurt again."
She admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Golden Heart's heart ached for her. He had suspected that much. He had seen the pain she carried, the walls she had built around herself. He wanted to reach out, to offer her comfort, but he knew better than to push. Instead, he kept his voice steady, gentle.
I understand.
He said softly.
And I'm not here to push you into anything you're not ready for. I'm just here. Whenever you need someone to talk to, or if you need space, I'll respect that too.
Amy looked at him, really looked at him this time, as though searching for some hidden agenda or ulterior motive. But all she found was sincerity. She nodded, her lips pressing into a thin line again, but there was something softer in her eyes now.
Thanks.
She murmured, her voice barely audible. For a moment, they just stood there, the silence between them no longer heavy but comfortable. Golden Heart didn't push for more, and Amy didn't feel the need to explain anything else. It was enough for now. After a moment, Amy turned, ready to leave again, but before she did, she paused.
I don't know if I'll ever be ready to let someone in again.
She said, her back still to him.
But thanks for not giving up on me.
Golden Heart's smile was warm, though bittersweet.
I'm not going anywhere, Amy.
With a quiet nod, Amy walked away, her figure disappearing into the soft evening light. Golden Heart watched her leave, his heart heavy with the weight of her words. He knew this journey with Amy wasn't going to be easy. It was going to take time, patience, and understanding. But something told him it would be worth it, even if the road ahead was uncertain. For now, he would continue being there for her, quietly, patiently in the background. He didn't need her to trust him right away. He was willing to wait for as long as it took.